You've never seen anything like Walt Disney's newest motion picture, Sleeping Beauty. So big, so wonderful, that to enjoy it most, you must see it in the one theater in your area equipped to show it in Technorama 70 and in full stereophonic sound. Walt Disney's wonderful new motion picture, Sleeping Beauty. It's worth going miles to see.
God, the two of us. You cannot put the two of us in a room together. I'm cutting all this out.
I'm gonna be your babysitter today, so let's get the show on the road.
Yep. So, go ahead, Jay. Take it from the top.
Well then, aloha passengers. Welcome back to the Grand Circle Tour. Jungle Skipper Jay here with you, and I have my two favorite co-hosts in the house, and I'm gonna go ladies first. George, how you doing, buddy? I'm
doing good. Of course, I always know when you say ladies first, I'm up, so I'm ready for you. So, but I'm actually kind of glad that what we're going to be talking about is because you and I have been trying to get this topic out for quite some time now. So
passengers, what you need to know, this is the third attempt. We're going to get through it this time. George and I have done this one twice before, and somehow we get a bad case of the giggles and ruin it. So we have a babysitter today. Kris, how are you doing? Thank you so much for keeping an eye on us today.
No problem at all. And you know what? I'm not gonna give away what we're doing, but the year that this music from this movie was released I was only a year old, so that'll give people a little bit of a hint that this is an oldie but a goodie.
Well, it kind of is in the episode title, and the beginning was Sleeping Beauty, so
okay. Well,
really not paid attention to this point.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, 1959. You guys, come on! I was a year old.
How old were you when you first saw this movie?
I want to say probably, there was a theater not too far away from where I lived that would, run re-releases of stuff. And I want to say probably maybe I was 8. I know it was a really long time ago. So. But probably after that, it was probably when I bought the VHS tape for like the next time that I saw it.
That was the first time I saw it, was on VHS.
Okay.
How about you, George?
For me, mine's a little bit different. I was 3 years old, and it was one of those things where, for some reason, it always interested me to watch the movie, but it was like not on my top list to watch. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't until I was 3 years old and I was in the waiting room for a dental checkup. And they had a TV in there, and they were playing at the time where they had like the VCR connected onto the TV, and they had Sleeping Beauty playing. So that was when I really and I literally got through the whole entire movie before I got called. So
wow, you had to wait a really long time for the dentist.
Yeah.
You waited 74 minutes?
Wow.
Yeah.
An entire hour and 14 minutes?
Holy cow. If I was your mom, I would have been ticked.
They were, trust me, she was, but I was enjoying the movie. So.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
So that was the first time I got to watch Sleeping Beauty, because it had my undivided attention, because in a dentist office, really, what more can you do?
That's right.
So do you associate anything Sleeping Beauty with dental work now?
Every time I do,
like Maleficent remind you to brush your teeth for a while and floss.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta go brush my teeth right now.
Every time I watch the movie, it does bring like the smell of latex to my nose.
Oh, jeez.
Because when I think of this movie, I think of the fantastic score that we're about to talk about.
Yeah.
Nice segue.
Yeah. Yeah.
King of segues.
Yes.
So we are talking about, and I got mine at the Disney Music Emporium, the Sleeping Beauty vinyl soundtrack picture disc. Um, before I go on about it, Kris, how is your copy? How do you enjoy this album?
Oh, I love it. It's, you know what? It's just something that I can put on and just kind of sit in the living room and put my feet up and listen to this and just enjoy the heck out of it every time I listen to it. So it's always been some of my favorite Disney music anyway. So to have it just all together and not even have to think about watching the movie, you can envision everything that's going on in that movie from what you are listening to with no pictures in front of your eyes. So I love it.
Very nice. My experience is going to be a little different from yours. I'm going from the pure record collector standpoint here.
Mm-hmm.
I have 2 issues with the album. One of them being the actual sound quality, the other being the artwork.
Mm-hmm.
And the third we'll get to was the packaging. And I know this is something I've seen an improvement from Disney Music Emporium where they're now selling the sleeves.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll get to that. If you heard our early vinyl reviews, this old complaint's coming back. But so for me, get this. I have 5 different copies of the ballet, not the Disney one, just the ballet on vinyl.
Okay.
I love the Sleeping Beauty ballet. It is one of my favorites. I have an original 1959 pressing of the vinyl, the vinyl soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
This is a copy of the exact same record. Me listening to it on a high-end system,
Mm-hmm.
I can tell this vinyl is in mono, not stereo.
Yeah.
And it's just, rather than a refreshed, cleaned up copy, which we know they did because I have the Legacy Collection 2 CD release, which is a brilliant and the best ever release of the Sleeping Beauty soundtrack. Do I regret buying this album? No. I'm glad I have a newer copy.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you are a Disney music fan, if you're collecting vinyl for the first time, I do think you should get this album.
Yeah, this is a good one to get.
Get this one because it's the new cleaned up, it's the new one. But like I said, it is the exact same as the one I have that is now 62 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did you notice that? Did you notice that before or after you got the Legacy Collection?
I noticed it the first time I listened to it that it sounds identical to the one that's 62 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely get this one. But if they do a special edition, I will grab that one and not play this one.
Yeah.
Kris, how do you like the artwork on this album?
I think I love it. I mean, you could like literally frame this and hang it up.
Well, you could with all of them. I mean, they're all great looking.
I just love it. It's the Aurora side is so soft and pastel, and the castle in the background is very pretty. And then you flip it over and you have this sinister side with Maleficent looking off to her left, and the crow there, and she's got her staff in her hand, and it's greenish and kind of creepy looking, and both sides are really neat to look at. Now
with me with the artwork, more so proclaiming with Sleeping Beauty, I do love the artwork. It's very crisp, it's very clean. I think for me, because Sleeping Beauty ended the era of with the ink and paint, that then segued into the beginning of the Xeroxing copy that they did with 101 Dalmatians. I would have loved to have seen more of that Mary Blair, Ivan Earle style, like the goth type of style that I've known Sleeping Beauty. Because like when you just look at the picture as a whole, you can see the in-depth of detail in the animation. It even stands out even beyond Cinderella and all the movies prior that Sleeping Beauty for me stands out alone.
George, you and I have had many conversations about how it is to this day the single best looking Disney film of all time. Not just art style, but movement, character design, everything about this movie. This is the one if you're going to show somebody one.
Because it's even like with that, because I had mentioned this prior, that there are two scenes in Sleeping Beauty that are my absolute favorite, and it's the battle with Prince Philip and the dragon. Obviously, that's a give or take. And then when they do the wide shot of the forest where Aurora is dancing with Philip and they're doing the circular spin to Once Upon a Dream. That to me is, with the music tied with it and everything else, that it just, and a lot of people say, well, why do you need the music for that kind of stuff?
Why do you need people like that in your life who say such cool, horrible
and so
things?
this is what I told them. I said, I want you to put on those scenes and mute the movie and just look at it. And they said, well, what? And I said, just trust me, just do it. So they put on the dragon scene, they mute it, and they're like, wow, you really do lose the in-depth of the fight without that background. I was like, yes, hello.
Although now I have a new thing in my head. Have you guys seen the dancing old man meme where it's an old dude who dances and they put it to a different song every day for the last 300 days? I think we should do the same thing with this scene. Every day, put it to a different song. Ramones one day, Sex Pistols the other, Kelly Clarkson. Let's just go nuts.
Oh my gosh, that's too funny.
So I like hearing both sides, what you guys think about the album art. I personally am beyond underwhelmed with the album art on this one. What I really, really liked about the Mansion and Pirate picture discs was they used the attraction poster on one side and concept art on the other. Well, for all the movie ones that they've released as picture discs, it's just stock art of the characters. Again, this is me speaking as like a serious record collector, male in his 40s. I really don't want a pretty princess in her pink dress on one side of the album. I would have loved like the original movie poster of Maleficent in Flames.
Yeah, that would have been
some
neat.
Really cool concept art. Something. I don't need the pretty princess in her pink dress on one side when I'm playing my records.
Or also known as not Cinderella.
Not Cinderella. Oh my gosh.
Long story short, if you're just joining us, I accidentally called Aurora Cinderella at Epcot. Yeah, dude, she was rude. She was offended.
Oops.
Like, she was like, you think I would have called her a mean word. She was so angry at me. It was hilarious. We're still laughing about it.
And she didn't hide it.
Oh, no, she was mad at me.
She was not happy.
But I bought a record, so she should be happy.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, Kris, where did you order yours?
I got mine on Amazon because I needed it quicker than it was going to take getting it from the Music Emporium. So
right, that is one downside. It does take 10 to 14 days to get a record from the Music Emporium.
Yeah,
it's always worth it. Yours came with a actual cardboard sleeve that shows the album.
Yes.
Yours came in a protective sleeve that you can put on a shelf, take it on and off without fear of damaging the album.
Right.
Mine, I ordered from the Emporium, and this is something I've noticed that they've been fixing, and it's fantastic. And you can even buy some for $2 on their site. Yeah. But when mine came from the Emporium, I got it last year, and it came in that vinyl sleeve that I've complained about before, where the last two that came, somewhere in the shipping process, the record had ripped all three sides.
Oh.
So it was tossable as soon as it got here.
Yeah.
This one, somewhere along the way, the package had gotten hot, and the vinyl bag it came in was stuck to the record. I had to put both hands in and very slowly free the record from its packaging.
Oh, wow.
Jeez.
That's
Luckily,
crazy.
it didn't warp. It didn't wreck anything. The record's in perfect condition.
Oh, that's good.
It was just an annoyance. And if you're a first-time record person, you may not know how to get it off without damaging it.
Yeah.
So,
True.
well, let's talk about the sound. What?
Yeah.
What, George?
No, I was going to say I agree with you with that as far as the packaging goes, because I get my records at Barnes & Noble.
Yeah.
They have a lot of the Disney collections, and that's where I got my Sleeping Beauty one, but it just comes in that clear plastic.
That is just
Yeah.
throwawayable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, I have spare blank sleeves on hand, so they went right in there.
Yeah.
But really and truly, again, for $19.99, which is what it cost me, and I assume it cost you guys as well.
Yes.
Mine was $19.99.
Right. That's
Yeah.
standard record price.
Yeah.
They should all be coming in sleeves.
Yep.
In actual sleeves. That'll protect it on a shelf.
Yeah.
So sound quality, how was yours? How did you enjoy this?
I think it's really good. And to me, I love having CDs of things because I can take them and throw them into my car. But there is nothing like putting vinyl on a turntable and putting that needle on and hearing the way it sounds that way versus a CD. There is never any comparison to me.
No, there's something about it. It's such a warm sound.
Yeah.
That pop and that hiss is so comforting.
Yes.
One of the things I love about vinyl, it's not like digital music where you can walk away and do chores. You have to actively listen. You have to watch the record. You have to care for the record. You have to be around it as it's playing.
Right.
It's something you participate in when you listen to music.
Right.
It's why I prefer the vinyl experience.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It you have to care for it, and it's an active experience.
Yes, it is. Yes.
I loved the sound of this album, but like I said, it is the exact same as the very, very first one.
Mm-hmm.
So overall, what are your thoughts? What would you give this one?
Oh my God. Out of 10? Out of 10? 1 out of 10? 1 to 10?
Sure, let's go 10.
Okay. I would give this a 10, honestly.
Nice.
Yes.
George, how was your listening experience?
Yeah, I would have to, as I said, my caliber of it isn't to yours because you are the vinyl aficionado, so it's like, but just for me, just of the overall experience of the soundtrack to Sleeping Beauty itself, because I love the music. I feel that the movie alone, the animation would not be, enough. The music has to blend in well with the animation. So
yep.
It's just one of those things that actually I'd have to give it a 9.
Nice. And you know what? I just realized we didn't actually talk about the music itself. So
yes,
let's backtrack a little bit. And let's talk about, why don't you guys take side A for me? Let's talk about the songs on side A.
Okay. So the first one, of course, is the main title, Once Upon a Dream, the opening chorus, and it's so beautiful, and it just gets you totally ready for what's coming in the rest of the album. What do you say, George?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, definitely. Once Upon a Dream is, I mean, even without the lyrics to it, just the sound of the song, you could hear that song and you automatically know what the song is.
Right.
And the song is, even though you only hear it, for that one point of time in the movie, it carries the story of what the storyline is about.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Hail to Princess Aurora is so regal and so magnificent sounding. And, having a song like this for a baby, I mean, it's not like, she's a full grown Cinderella, becoming a princess or a queen or whatever. It's a baby. So,
Hey,
I mean,
the
to
difference
have
between
this
Cinderella-
magnificent music about a baby.
Hey, the difference between Cinderella and Aurora, her family loved her.
Yeah, that's true. Very true.
Drop the mic.
Yeah. Oh.
Hey, Bell goes to George.
Yeah, that's just a fun song. Like, it was a great way to open up the movie, to introduce the character. And again, a lot of times I don't really keep on mentioning it, but like with Sleeping Beauty, I always, when I talk about the music, I talk about the animation. And when I talk about the animation, I talk about the music. And it's like during this song, as I said, you have that medieval goth style type of animation where, all the knights, all the villagers are all going to the castle to see Aurora. And it's like the movement, the flow of the animation beats to the sound of the song.
Yep. Absolutely. So the next one is The Gift of Beauty and Song. Maleficent appears and True Love Conquers All. It's almost like a medley kind of a thing. And that's really good too. And, the Maleficent part, you know what's going to happen just because. So,
well, I love how with that medley, how it starts off real nice and soft and peaceful, and then you just get this like bam, it's like, okay, well, here comes the antagonist.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. The next one, track 4, is Bluebird and I Wonder. You just know right away that Aurora is just special. She's a special person. Just so sweet. And I love this. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, and especially with is it Mary Costa? Am I pronouncing her last name? I don't know.
Mary Costa.
Costa. Yeah.
Costa. I don't know if it was with a O or A, but that it that the way that she hit those high notes, she sings, that it's, especially with that song, it's yeah.
And then you've got the next one is the Woodland Symphony. And of course we hear Once Upon a Dream again, because that's when Prince Philip appears, and you can just see them dancing together when you hear this song.
Okay. Captain Buzzkill is going to bust in on you guys. And this is something I noticed, same as on the original 59 release and all the releases afterwards. Notice that this is not the soundtrack version of the film. This is a different recording with the same vocals, but it's not the one that actually appears in the film.
Right. Yeah. But you can still picture everything in your head, That's the way I do things when I listen, versus watching and listening at the same time. So. And then the last one on this side is The Three Good Fairies. Sing a smiling song. Yeah.
Okay, that's my ringtone now. Do that again.
I love the fairies.
You actually did that very well.
Oh, thank you.
I might be saving that clip now.
Okay. I do. I love this. I love them. And I think it's such, the way that they are together and the way that they are in this song, it's just, you can't go wrong with this.
And I got to give it to Frank Thomas and Ollie Johnson, because they were the ones who animated the Three Fairies. And at one point, Walt wanted them to be exactly alike.
Yeah.
And they had to convince him, it's like, no, let's give them their own individual personalities and style.
And thank goodness they did.
Yes.
Had all three of them been alike, spoken alike, kind of like Huey, Dewey, Louie, that would have been creepy.
Yes, very, very creepy. The triplet fairies, you know, is that the way it would come across? So
I think of the Stepford Cuckoos from the X-Men, but it's a story for a different day.
Yeah. So how about side B?
Well, side A's run out. I'm going to lift the needle, and I'm going to flip it over. I can't look at this pretty princess in pink anymore. Side B, Maleficent. Here we go.
Need some rough edges.
I have no shame with side B on my record player. So first track is, George, you're going to take side 2 with me. So first track is Scumps, the drinking song.
Well, there you go.
George, do you remember singing Scrumps at the Polynesian?
Did I? I don't know. You have to let me know, because I definitely felt that moment.
He doesn't remember.
If I find the video, I'll post it for all our listeners to see.
Scumps, the drinking song by George. Hashtag George ruined my song.
I have to pull it out. I have an actual drawing of King Hubert from that scene that was used in production. Take it out and I will show it to everybody.
Yeah.
That song with that scene that's like just a pinnacle point where just a little shot of comedy. You just have to throw it in there, and it was perfect.
Absolutely.
So our next track is Maleficent's Evil Spell. Love this track. Love the I love the translation of the original ballet to film score, and the pieces they picked, and how it all works together so well. Yeah. Everything about this soundtrack is divine.
For that's the music that resonates with Maleficent. Yes. Any true Disney fan is like, you could just hear that. It doesn't have to be on a record. It doesn't have to. You could just hear that piece of music.
You hear it in your mind as soon as you say it.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Absolutely.
Our next track is Sleeping Beauty. And it's just a very nice, gentle, kind of a reprise of the Sleeping Beauty theme.
Yes.
We have Fairies to the Rescue and Bacchanal. And yes, I will say it that way. Bacchanal, all I want. Again, the second side of the album is a little more, is all the darker stuff. Yeah. And we're off to The Prince Dreams of Sleeping Beauty, and that's where Maleficent teases him with the 100 years.
And I think like with those tracks, it leads up to the anticipation of that final battle scene with the music.
The way the second half of the score carries kind of all the mischief to the end.
Yes.
And our last and final track on the album is the Battle with the Forces of Evil, Awakening and Finale.
As I said, that sequence, you need that background music with that epic battle, because
it's so powerful, right? I mean, it just
such a perfect storybook ending.
Yeah.
You know, my favorite part about the Sleeping Beauty finale is they recycled the animation and used it for Belle and her prince. So the dance at the end of Beauty and the Beast is the exact same dance.
Now that you said it, that when you actually see Philip and Aurora dancing, where it transitions them dancing on the clouds, you can see Prince Adam and Belle. For all you who don't know, Adam is the name of the beast.
Right.
So,
well, I still think it should be Prince or the Beast, formerly known as Prince, but that's okay.
Oh, yeah, the recycled animation. Don't we love it?
Go watch Snow White, then go watch Robin Hood, kids. Report back to me.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
I am going to give this album a solid 7.
Okay.
Because I think it could be better. I think it has a lot. I think the next issue of this has a lot of room for improvement.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't have Sleeping Beauty in your collection, I say every Disney music fan should get this, period. Everyone should buy everything the Disney Music Emporium sells and put it on their shelves. The exception of things like Hannah Montana, the Cheetah Girls. Let's rid of that.
Yeah, we could pass on those things.
Again, I'm a serious adult collector. My issues from the album are coming from someone who is a serious record collector.
Yeah.
But I still find more good in this than bad.
Yeah.
Get this if you don't have it. It's great to have. What are your guys' final thoughts?
Yeah, if you love this movie, period, you're going to love this soundtrack album. Whether it's the exact from the movie or not, it's close enough that you're going to love it. Because the story that you know of Sleeping Beauty, you can envision in your head while you are listening to it.
And to kind of continue off on that, I think that it would give viewers a more in-depth appreciation of the film after listening to the music, like just the music alone.
Absolutely.
But then you can go into watching the movie again with a different retrospect of, okay, now you're really listening to the music as you're watching the animation.
Yes.
So we're all in agreement. We are the three good fairies of the music shop this week.
Yes.
Yes.
And Kris, of course, you have pink on.
Yes, I do.
George has green. I have blue. What the heck? So I'm going to leave everyone with one final thought. This is a pro tip. If you're at the parks or the resorts and you see a vinyl album you want to take home and you're afraid of packing it in your suitcase, Disney Music Emporium has all these albums. I will put a link to Sleeping Beauty vinyl right in the show notes, so you can click to it from your phones, go purchase it. With what's coming up next on the music shop, what do we have coming up?
Well, I was thinking for the next one, if you were all in agreement, I am really looking forward to talking about Hercules.
Ooh.
Well, bless my soul, George is on a roll. We will be doing Hercules soon. And I can't wait to get back to the parks. I can't wait to review the Enchanted Tiki Room and Jungle Cruise final album.
Now, I would love to do the Rapunzel or the Tangled one. That's really good as well.
So passengers, that's what's coming up next on the music shop. Thanks for listening. Hashtag George ruined my trip. Ken, take it away.
If you would like to keep the adventure going after the show, be sure to like our Facebook friends page, Grand Circle Tours Magical Ticket Holders. While you're on Facebook, like our group page, Grand Circle Tours. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Grand Circle Tours Podcast, as well as on Instagram, GCT Podcast, and our YouTube channel, Grand Circle Tour. If you would like to email us, drop us a line at gctpodcast@gmail.com. T-shirts and other fun merchandise can be found at tpublic.com. Simply search Grand Circle Tour Podcast. If you enjoyed your adventure, leave us a review on Apple Podcast. Only one rule, make it good. All logos, sounds, songs, and music that are made by and for Disney and its affiliates are the full ownership of the Disney Corporation and are not, nor are they intended to be, the ownership of the Grand Circle Tour Podcast. Thank you for riding with us, and welcome home.
Sing a smiling song. Yeah.